right off rip, I'm gonna say, forgive me for being lazy. I want to record in my bedroom. I do not want to record in my kitchen. So the lighting is gonna be off. Whatever. I got my lovely little light that you can't read that says good vibes only. And then I have my light on over there. But I just want to get into the video. And at this point, you guys, I've been thinking that my slogan is going to be my consistency is my inconsistency. And that is with YouTube because I, I had that momentum back in what, 2016, it's 2021. And, we're here. There's been, I'll give you a little bit of backstory before I get into the video. Maybe I'll put a timestamp on where the video actually starts. Basically, it's been a lot going on. Moved the job, went through 3 cars, a lot. In this whole entire 2021, and it's only freaking July. But I mean, that is almost half the year is gone. But still, a lot happened in half the year. Big, huge house projects like my driveway, my AC, all this other stuff. So excuses, but I want to get into this video about the pros and cons of owning a Tesla or probably even an electric car. Either way, I would have loved to do maybe pros at the beginning and cons at the end, but I know I'm going to be all over the place. I don't have a book where I wrote it down, and I'm just going to let things pop into my head and flow from there. So I do want to start with positives, as many positives as I can, and if I find negatives in between, they're just going to pop up. And the biggest negative, I shouldn't even say this, but I'm going to say it for last. So, if you want to scroll to the end, because I'm going to say this last, and I already told you that from Jump Street, then, whatever. So, I will say that the pro of owning a Tesla is the pro of owning a Tesla. Like, I don't know, if you want to get bothered in, oh, by the way, sorry about my voice, whatever, I don't know, I caught something, not but I caught something. I think from my ACs actually. But anyway, the pro of owning a Tesla is owning a Tesla. Like, when people see your car, they want to see your car. Like, soon as I brought my car on my street, because I live on a private street, all the little boys, all little boys want to look at the car, get in the car, blah, blah, blah. Let them do that. Even when I go out in public, if somebody sees my Tesla, if somebody sees my Tesla, because I always use the frunk, which is the front trunk, they're always questioning, like, what am I doing? Is something wrong with her car? And then they end up finding out it's a Tesla, and then they're, like, all surprised. They want to know more, blah, blah, blah. Or, like, literally if somebody's passing you, legit, they'll stare. And I'm like, oh, my God, can you just go? But I will say Teslas are starting to become a little bit more prominent because I have a Model 3, and the Model 3s are the most obtainable Tesla besides the new Model Y truck are the most obtainable. So I'm starting to see them a lot. So I don't know if that novelty of like, ooh, a Tesla is going to last long. But for now, yeah, that's the one pro of having a Tesla is having a Tesla because, you get looked at. I think that might make my Tesla stand out. Who knows? But yeah, just because now I see so many Teslas. Like before when I had my Tesla, I might have seen one. Now in a given day, I can see like 3, 4, 5, which is quite a lot for a Tesla. And it's usually Model 3s or Model Ys. Not too many Model S's or Model X's. So then the next pro of owning a Tesla is how big it actually is, or let's say a Tesla Model 3. And because the rest of them are pretty big too. I did end up driving an S, as well. But like the Tesla Model 3 is really big in the inside, and this is me coming from an Infiniti, popping with the Jeep real quick, Jeep Wrangler, and then move into the Tesla. So my Infiniti, bruh, couldn't do projects for the life of me because that car was literally made for looks. Like I came in, and again, I had a Buick before that. So my Buick had seats that you could put down. So I was able to put like huge things in my car, like 8-foot long things in my car. The Infiniti, when I moved to my Infiniti, it's all about looks. Literally the back seat is big, which I'm like, what the hell? Which made the trunk small, so you weren't able to fit a lot of things in the trunk. Couldn't put the seats down. Then I got my Jeep temporarily, and I knew that I wasn't going to keep it, so I took out the back seats. I didn't take out the back seat, so there was, honestly, Jeeps have less room than a car. Literally, if you don't take out those, because I had a 2-door, I didn't want a 4-door. So if you don't take out those back seats, if you have to consistently remove that back flap, because mine wasn't a hard top, it was a soft top, so you had to zip off the back flap if you wanted to fit things in big, that trunk was nothing. So And then I moved to my Tesla. You could put down the seats, and I was doing projects like, yo, I was fitting things in my car like all day long, like so many things. I moved in that Tesla, and I've only had it since freaking May, April, May. Crazy, like how many things I've lugged in that Tesla. Now, where was I gonna go with that? Yeah, like so many things that moved in that Tesla. I mean, it can't fit 8 foot things, so I did try to actually fit something that was 8 feet. And actually, now that I think about it, the last thing that I tried to fit in there, the box was actually 8 feet. This time I was trying to fit something that was like 98 inches is 8 feet. But the last time I was moving like some type of wardrobe system, which is only 80 something inches, so that's technically less than 8 feet. That fit in my Buick. I don't know. Because basically with the Tesla, that front passenger seat doesn't go down, like tilt down far enough for you to be able to slide something over it. So that's kind of the hindrance, is the front passenger seat. Like the back seat's great, but the front passenger seat, if you're gonna try to put something on an angle, it doesn't go down far enough for you to be able to like slide something on top of it. Another pro is being able to keep your char consistent. Your char. Combining words. Being able to keep your car consistently charged. I own my own house, so as soon as I knew I was getting my Tesla, I installed an electric charger. So I don't have to worry about going to charging stations. I don't have to worry about calculating my days. Like when I had a gas tank, I would consistently try to refill up my car when it got up to half tank, but it would hinder, like, I don't know, my morning. Like I would have to like calculate in maybe 5 minutes to go get gas, and 5 minutes is 5 minutes. If you try to calculate in 5 minutes, that means that you have to shave off 5 minutes from somewhere else. So being able to consistently have my car charged every single night at my own house is freaking amazing. Like I love it. Like I don't have to worry about anything unless I guess my power goes out or something like that. And also the car comes with like a backup charger. It's just a regular outlet charger, so those type of chargers take a lot longer to charge your car. My in-home wall charger, for me to get back and forth to work, which is about 40 something miles total, it takes the car about 2.5 hours to charge. I think at the lowest amount of like almost E basically, because I've gotten there. I think it takes about 8 hours for it to charge. So there's that. Let me see some other, because I might have a lot more cons, y'all. I might have a lot more cons, y'all. Anyway. But I still love this Tesla. Another pro is that it's quiet. Love the cameras on the car. I love that they're testing out the beta mode. I love being able to see the road. I still think that thing is cute. Sound system on point. Like, I don't know. I'm like really, 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 really in love with the car. Like I really am in love with it. This was my dream car. After owning this, I'm gonna be probably an electric car connoisseur. I'm probably not gonna own a gas car unless it's like a hybrid, because I mean I already got the charger in my house. So what's the point, right? I already have the charger in my house. So if I think of any more pros throughout, I will add them in, but we about to get to this con list, honey, because I think I might have a lot more cons than most people lead on. Like, I don't think that people tell you, like, the negatives about owning a Tesla or maybe even an electric car. So let's get into it, because I have a lot. So first things first is the amount of money that you put into it before you even get the car. So, boom. Tesla, and I'm not sure if this is the same for every electric car, but rumor has it is that now the world is moving to, not having that room for a spare tire, which I think is like so stupid. So Tesla doesn't have room for a spare tire. They say that they have like gauges on the tires to be able to like, tell you how low a tire is or whatever. But point being, if you pop your tire, you pop your tire. So if you don't have a spare tire, what are you supposed to do? So I looked up some videos and all that stuff. So eventually I do have a spare tire that I had to pay for. I paid for a lot of things before even getting this car. So I brought my spare tire offline. I brought it off of eBay. There's a company who sells spare tires. You could buy them off of Amazon, or you could just go straight to their website, whatever makes more sense to you. I think originally when I was going to buy the tire, I'm pretty sure I was probably going to buy it straight from their website because it was a little bit less, and I was going to use PayPal to pay for it or something like that. But yeah, so I brought my tire from eBay because I found somebody selling it, and I have to do like some type of pulley system to keep it hinged up type of thing. The only thing about that is that when I do that, it takes away from the trunk. It takes away from the amount of space that I have, to put stuff in my trunk if I'm going to do projects. If something's going to be high, I now have to take out the tire just to fit things into my car. So that's kind of annoying. The tire is definitely thinner than the normal stock tires because it is just basically a donut tire. But nonetheless, it's like, damn, like I gotta, equate to and take room away by having to add this spare tire. To me, with three trunks, because the Tesla does have three trunks, there's a Pro. There's a front trunk, a back trunk, and another hidden trunk under the trunk. There should be room for a tire to be stored somewhere, a spare tire. Like I don't see the point. I don't see the point in that. Another con, but this is like a personal opinion, is it not having a sunroof. Like, yo, if that whole entire roof opened up, case it would be lit. I'm like a sunroof type of girl. I like to stretch and I like to stretch my arm out the sunroof, but that's like a personal con. That's not like, something that I think is like a con for everybody. But if there was a sunroof or a moonroof, that would be great. And again, I did drive a Model S temporarily that had a sunroof, and I could see, like, I had a sunroof on my Infiniti, which worked perfect. I mean, the drain plug did unplug and was actually putting water into my car at one point, but when that got fixed, it was fine. But this sunroof on this Model S, it was finicky. Like, it will work one day and not work another. I thought that the only way the sunroof will come back is if you were driving, but I don't think that you need to be driving for the sunroof to go back. It would get stuck. I would have to sit in my garage until it finally moved forward because I wasn't going to leave it open in my garage because I get spiders. I'm not going to let a spider crawl in my car. Oh my gosh, that freaking sunroof was like freaking annoying. So I could see why. I think, I don't know if this is true, but I think Elon Musk said something about the reason why he doesn't have sunroofs on the Model 3s. But I don't know. I still love them. I like having an open rooftop. Oh, another pro, but this again is like another opinion-based pro, is that the doors don't have the, like, the framing, so it makes you feel like you're in a sports car. Love that. Oh my gosh, not having the frame on your freaking door. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So then the next con is having to get an electric charger. And this plays into also buying your car from a third party. So I brought my electric charger right off rip because, and that's without me being educated to how being in limbo is, and I'll explain what being in limbo is. But I got my electric charger. That bad boy cost me like, I think, $600. Thank gosh I have an electrician friend, so he didn't charge me to install it. But literally, I had to get an electric charger. I basically put in almost like $1,000 before even buying the car or getting my car. The car was brought, but before even getting my car. And that's just on like little doodads. And then I had to get the freaking converting heads for the charger because the chargers are made for normal electric cars, not a Tesla, because Tesla, has to be different. They have their own. And so I had to get the converters, and those I brought those like not aftermarket, but I brought those off of like Mercari and things like eBay. I didn't pay full price. I think full price they're normally like $80. Probably paid like $50 for them, and I brought three because I'd like to have backups. So I have one when I'm on the road, so that stays in my glove box. I have one that's right next to my charger, and then I have a spare one in case one of them decides to act, weird. Because actually that ended up happening to me. One of them was working fine. All of a sudden it started to act weird, so I just switched it out with a different one. But yeah, back to the charger real quick. So I got a generic charger. I did not get the Tesla charger. And that's because, who knows? I might not stick with Tesla forever. And I might get a different, like I said, this was my dream car. I have it. I might get a different electric charger. Electric car. So imagine if I got the Tesla charger and now I'm stuck with this charger and I have to sell it maybe in the future and get a normal charger. So I'm like, I'm going to get a normal charger that's not a Tesla charger from RIP. And I have, it's called Juicebox, and I think that they're like one of the top rated chargers. So I love it. It works. I don't really get the ins and outs of how to make the app work, but I have it and it works. I got the one that you plug in instead of actually hardwiring. Because again, like let's say I move, I can take this charger with me. I don't have to leave it at this house. And also, rumor has it is I was like reading in some forums that like if an electrician knows that you're installing an electric charger, they might charge you more. So at least if you do the plug-in, you could be like, I'm installing the washer and dryer, and what they're doing is installing an outlet, so they'll charge you a lot less to install an outlet for your electric charger plug-in than they will to hardwire it. And also hardwiring, you have to snake stuff, like at least with an electric charger, like you can, with like wiring an outlet, you can kind of leave things exposed, like not exposed, you still have to cover the wire, but like you can leave it exposed or whatever. So those are two like cons before even buying the car. So then another con is being a slave to the charge. So I don't have the biggest, there's no engine. I don't have the biggest battery, so that means that technically I have rear wheel drive. And I live in the East Coast. I read a lot about the rear wheel drive in the winter. Hopefully it works out, but and if that doesn't work out, I have another car that is all wheel drive. So yeah. Um, but I have like the normal charge car. So I can basically, like, people ask me like how long can you go before you have to recharge your car. So I can say that I can get to work and back twice probably without having to, like, without being worried about my battery dying. Let's say I live in Connecticut. Yeah, you guys know that. So I went on a 60-mile trip when I first got the car. Like, it was around 60 miles, I believe. Maybe like 50, 60, which equated to about an hour and 20. Got there, was kind of driving pretty fast. Got there, didn't think it through. Got back in my car, and then the car was like, you only have this much battery. And the car, this is another pro. The car is smart enough to tell you how long you can go before really needing to charge, or if you can make it to your destination before your car dies. So on this trip, so that's definitely a pro. So the con is, though, on this trip, I like was screwed. I didn't have my charger connection piece, and I already had used my one supercharge, my one free supercharge, and so the car told me I can only drive 60 miles or below to be able to make it from that 60-mile distance, which was an hour and 20, to get back home. And by the time I got back home, I had 14 miles left. Like, literally, car was about to die, type of thing. So that leads me into another con, is when you buy from a third party. So I didn't get my Tesla straight from Tesla. I brought it from a third party, and we're in the middle of a situation. So registration is taking a lot longer than it should. So I got mine from a third party, and you end up staying in limbo. And when you're in limbo, you don't have access to the Tesla app because you have to get your registration, because I believe that they want to know that that car is actually yours. So I already used my first supercharge, like, stupidly. Like, I didn't need, if I would have known that that supercharge would have been my first and last supercharge, I would have saved it for another time, because I already had the charge. No, I didn't have the charger at my house, so I needed it either way. So I didn't need that supercharge. But had I had the charger at my house, I wouldn't have wasted it on the supercharge or Tesla supercharger. But then again, I don't know, maybe I would have. So yeah, when you're in limbo, nonetheless, like, you are screwed. Like, you cannot use a Tesla superchargers, which kind of sucks, because, like, this leads me to another story where my car actually did die and I had to get it towed all the way back home from New York. That was kind of like my fault type of thing, where I drove to New York for a trip. It sat there for a couple days. There wasn't enough charge for me to make it all the way back home to Connecticut. I had gone to IKEA. What I should have did is just let my car charge fully at IKEA, even if that would have required me to stay there for like 3-4 hours. I should have did that, but I wasn't thinking. I thought that there was going to be another charger along the way home. No, there was no charger along the way home. Like, not like the one at IKEA, because the IKEA one had the connector piece that fit my connection piece. There was another one on the way home, but it needed a different connection piece that I didn't have access to. So my car ended up dying on me, and I had to get it towed all the way home. I ended up getting sick and everything. But that's definitely a con, is that you're a slave to the charge, essentially. I mean, when you finally do get access to the Tesla app, I mean, yeah, you won't be necessarily a slave to the charge, but technically, when you're able to go to a gas station and it take you 5 minutes, a Tesla charge for a half charge is about like half an hour. So half charge meaning, like, I was gonna say like a half tank, but like there's no tank. So like a half like battery fill up. You have to sit there for 30 minutes. So you have to have like a game plan. Normally, like, if I'm like, I feel like in the future, hopefully, like, if I have to have a half-hour charge, I'm gonna be doing something like, and a lot of these destination chargers are near things. So like, the whole point is that you're able to actually like charge your car and do something else. But just have to sit in a parking lot for half an hour would be kind of sucky. But there are games and things like that on the car to play, and the car is so comfortable. The AC stays on as you're charging the car. Gorgeous, lovely, gorgeous, lovely. So it's like not too bad or whatever. I like that there's a dog mode. So like when I had my dog with me, I was able to leave my car, lock it, and actually leave the AC on. So that is a plus, because I don't like, that's one of my major reasons for not liking to bring my dog with me, is because I feel bad for leaving him in the car, even with the windows down, because like right now it's freaking summer, so super hot, and then winter super cold. But like literally Tesla has dog mode where you can lock your car. It keeps a nice little temperature for the doggo, and then the same thing in the winter. So that's another pro. Um, Another con is it just being like electric, so sometimes it's a little bit finicky, but not all the time. I would definitely agree with a lot of people that another con is the paint job. mm, Really thinking about getting it wrapped to preserve the paint, because what the heck. um let's see, and then if I miss any cons, maybe I'll put them in, but here's the major con: the battery. So my battery exploded. My car didn't catch on fire, but the battery exploded. Exploded right before I had to go to work on a Saturday. So leaving my street, I get up to the top of the hill. Boom! I'm like, what was that? Like, I thought that I hit something, but I'm like, there's no way that I hit anything. I looked both ways. So the car literally starts shutting down, and I was reading stuff on forums that this happened to other people, where like the car starts shutting down, which is pretty dangerous, because I'm like, when I was reading forums, things were like popping into my head, like, oh my gosh, like what if you're on a highway and you're in the furthest left lane, because you know how technically you're supposed to get over to the right on the highway. What if you're in the furthest left lane and your car starts breaking, or not, it starts freaking shutting off and breaking down on you. My car literally did that, and I didn't pull over quite far enough, so my car was a little bit in the road. Not too much. I was definitely pulled over, but a little bit in the road. The car literally shut down. I could not move it. I could not get it to move. The whole entire, like, I had to sit in, and it was so sucky because it literally broke down right above my street, so I couldn't leave the car because it was on a major road. I didn't want it to get towed the wrong way if a cop came by it. So I sat in the car the whole time. Pro, comfy sleep. It broke down at 8 o'clock in the morning. The Tesla repair shop, whatever you want to call it, didn't open until 10. So I'm like, you know what? It broke down technically at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I did my little research that I could. I ended up taking a nap until about 8. Ended up calling the tow company. Thank gosh I called it in a timely manner, because I literally got to the Tesla repair shop as soon as they opened. I wanted to get there as soon as they opened, because you know it's a service shop. Service shops get busy. We couldn't even start the car, because like there is technically, and I learned this, I thought that the whole car was just the one battery, but no, there is a backup 12-volt battery that you're able to plug into to get your car to start. So with that, you're able to, I believe, be able to put the car into like neutral. You're able to like get your windows to roll up, because also when the car shut down, the window for whatever reason rolled down. I couldn't get it to roll back up. But they're in, and again, like you could get your locks to work and everything like that. So like thank gosh there's actually technically a manual lock. Like it's hard to see. My dad always uses it, which annoys me. I'm like, push the button, not the manual lock. Push the button to open up the door, but he uses the manual pull. But yeah, bruh, the battery exploded. The freaking 12-volt battery, it wouldn't work. Like it was a catastrophe. It did, like I said, it did not catch on fire. Like I slept in the car. Like I'm like crazy. Like I slept in the car, that battery exploded. What if the, anyway, but this caused like the AAA guy, because the wrong AAA guy had came. Oh, here's some more cons technically. So some more stuff that you have to be wary about is that like you have to tell AAA that you have a Tesla, because they need to come up with a flatbed. They cannot hit your car and pull it. They cannot, because it will ruin the battery. So he had to do like some type of crazy hitch. But the beauty of that is that like, and again, I was scared because I was also in limbo. Like I don't have my registration, so like, am I gonna have to pay for this whole entire like service? No, it was still free. Tesla has amazing customer service. I told them I did not have a second car to drive, which at that point I did not have a second car to drive. So they gave me a Model S, and that's where my whole like test driving a Model S came from. Gorgeous. I can see why Model S's cost the money that they do. But yeah, they fixed the car. They kept it for a week. I'm like, they were like, we don't know when you're gonna get it back. I'm like, take your time. I like this Model S. So there was that, like, literally battery exploded like crazy, car shut down, could not move it, like craziness. And I would say that that is definitely a con. Like, you're like, you get like really freaked out because it's like, what do you do? Like, you an electric car, like nobody knows how to fix it other than Tesla, or like other dealerships have their own electric cars, but they know how to fix those. Like, Tesla can only fix their electric cars. So that's definitely a con, is that you are a slave. Well, essentially you're a slave to Tesla. Like, you can only go to Tesla at this point. Like, that's the only people who can fix your car. If you're not near one, with the like, I have like 100-mile radius for my AAA, but like, what if I'm really in West Bumba and there's no Tesla within 100 miles? So there's that. Here are some more cons. Like I said, the other one is that you can only get a flatbed. You cannot actually get your car hitched onto anything. Another con is that you can't go to a normal car wash. You have to go to one where you can physically drive through, because you cannot leave your car in neutral. There's a neutral option, but for whatever reason you cannot leave your car neutral in a car wash. You literally have to go to one of those hand wash car wash. Thank gosh, where I live, we actually do have a hand wash car wash. It's a drive-through hand wash car wash. Amazing. Another con is that another thing that I also had to buy too, is you have to buy these pucks because you have to keep the battery safe. So like, I have a like I said, I have a rear wheel drive car, so like, I was thinking about getting winter tires on the car, and I have to make sure if I bring it to like a town fair tire that they use those pucks, because they can ruin the battery by hitching it the wrong way. Or even if you have to change a tire, you have to put the puck there and then use the wrench thing to like push the car up. Like, you cannot do anything without those pucks being there, because you can literally ruin the battery, because the battery is just covered by plastic. So yeah, I think that I gave people the real, I don't know, because I watched another girl's video and she was going on and on and on and saying how she had to fish for cons. I'm like, girl, the cons are there. The cons are there. But would I recommend anybody buy an electric car or a Tesla? As many of cons that I told you, hell yeah. Buy yourself a Tesla. Buy yourself an electric car. Eventually, this is going to be the thing of the, everybody knows this is going to be the way of the future, is electric cars. So why not? Would I ever buy another Tesla? Yeah, probably, if they came up with a dope one. But like I said, Tesla was my dream car. I got it. My next car I would love to have is the electric Mustang, unless they come up with something even cooler than the electric Mustang. But my next car would probably be the electric Mustang. Anyway, guys, that's it on this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on my social medias at Maya_Love, MAYA_LOVE. I have an Instagram, I have a TikTok, but I think the TikTok has a 1 in it somewhere. I have Twitter that I don't use, and I have a Snapchat that I don't use. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Hope this helped anybody who's thinking about buying a Tesla or electric car in general. Crazy stories. I made those stories really, really short for this video in regards to that whole like New York situation where my car died on me, and then the whole battery thing where my battery exploded on me. But hey, that's that on that. I'll see you guys later. Bye.